What's going on? What's going on? Once again, coming straight through, 100% true, always clean, honest, facts. Today, we're going to understand, we're going to be talking about talent, all right? We're going to be talking about talent, and, we got, we're all talented, one way or another. You know what I'm saying? We all have a talent in life, whatever we're involved in any kind of sport, and life in general. There's a talent in everything. All right. So today I'm going to be touching up on that. All right. So talent is given by, it's created and given. We're all created equally, of course, but we could be big, small, short, husky, whatever you want to call it, strong, fast, but it's developed over time. It's developed over different stages in our lives. You know what I mean? Absolutely. There's there's no argument, of course. Talent, raw talents, straight up talent. There's ways that someone's over, more talented than others. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that they have no talent, or maybe they can't develop to catch up to the other person ahead of them. Or the person coming up out of nowhere might have a better talent than someone that's been grinding for several years. All of a sudden, within 6 months or a year, and develop it way surpass the person that you thought he had the exact, the great talent. You know what I mean? So you can never know. You really don't know. You know what I mean? But it's a process. It's a process that we take it and develop our talent to the highest of the high. You know what I mean? But, we're not limited. Talent is not limited. It's how well you want to prepare again and take your level and your talent where people probably doubted you. That's just fact, right? All right. So understand that we all must understand that. We have to make sure we keep grinding and believing and trusting in our ability as athletes to know and understand that it might take me a little longer than others. It might take me a little bit, time, whether it's several months, several years. It's okay. It's normal. As long as you stay on course. Stay on course and just believe and trust. You know what I mean? We could talk about, point out just a few athletes in the field of boxing. In boxing, you have athletes who are talented, but some are more talented than others. And they achieve more in their success, whether it's at an amateur level or a pro level. But let's point out a few fighters, for example, of different talents in different stages in their careers. The great Roy Jones Jr., let's say, a legend, one of the best, pound for pound king in the 90s. In his prime was like unbelievable. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. I mean, he couldn't be touched. You know what I mean? You know where I'm going with this. You know what I mean? Backtrack a little bit. Roy was in the Olympics. Okay, he went to the Olympics. He literally dominated the fight. We all know the history. Probably you do your research, you'll understand where I'm going with this. If maybe he was robbed clearly 100%. This is true. All right, and the thing is, he could have said, what? Let me pack it in. I lost the Olympics. Of course, we all know he won, but he got robbed. It talked about as probably one of the worst robberies, if not the worst robbery in the history of the Olympics, period. You know what I mean? And he became out to be a legend, one of the best, and he took it and motivated himself and grinded, and then took it to the top. Okay? Took it to the top, and we know the rest is history. All right? Another thing, Bud Crawford, amateurs, couple of fighters, probably, we all know. If you do your research, you'll understand where I'm going with this. A few amateurs probably beat him, and the amateurs are like, oh yeah, I beat Bud. But look where Bud is at right now. Crawford is right now pound for pound of the best fighters, in boxing right now as we speak. We're talking about in his prime right now, he's one of the best. And then some of the other guys that beat him, and then nowhere to be found in a way. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you with that talent that he could have folded and said, gave up back at an amateur level and said, man, these guys beat me. You know, forget it. Let me pack it in. Another true story. That's true success. Earl Spence Jr., an Olympics fighter as well. You know, lost in the Olympics. You know, people doubted him a little bit. Lost and then pretty much reinserted in the Olympics, and they overlooked him a little bit. But again, he didn't win gold or anything like that, but he was in the Olympics. But at the end of the day, another story, he could have folded. But look at him now, a champion, and we're talking about elite level in his prime, you know. And there's other fighters, Danny Garcia, you know, that he beat tons of fighters coming along the way at a pro level. And then people doubted him, and then they thought he couldn't win that fight. He couldn't get over that hump, and he did, one after the other, and then just continued. And he's also an elite fighter, and much respect to all these fighters I mentioned. Tyson, we all know Tyson, Iron Mike, came out of the ghetto, out of the mud, and look what he accomplished. Look where he's at. He went down and then came back up, and look what he's doing now. That's another success story. But at the end of the day, talent. A lot of people might come and talk to you, whether they're a coach or whether you're a friend or family, and tell you don't have what it takes. I don't think you're talented enough. I don't think you're fast enough. I don't think you're strong enough. I don't think you got what it takes. That's absolutely wrong. That is absolutely pretty much failure. That is not going to get you nowhere. That's bringing you down instead of bringing you up and pushing you to the top, and keep grinding together as a team, as a coach, as a teacher, as a guiding person that's guiding you through life. Keep pushing and grinding and believing and trusting in your ability, in your talent, because you have talent. You have what it takes. Don't give up on yourself. At the end of the day, understand. You might develop a little slower than others. It's understanding. It's okay. It's not a setback. It's just that it took you a little more time than the others. It's okay, but just keep grinding and just keep pushing, all right? And to those people that really doubted you and told you that you don't have what it takes, one day you're successful and you're on top and elite, you can look back and just look at them and smile. Give them that smile, and they'll understand where that smile is coming from. Trust me. You know where I'm going with this. You know what I'm saying? Give them that smile and just walk away, and they'll understand exactly what you're talking about. That smile speaks thousands of words to them. And it hits them right in the heart, because those are the people that doubted you. They thought you're not going to make it. You're not going to accomplish anything. And there's others that millions of, there's tons of fighters out there in different sports, with different sports. They have great talent, but they never make it to the top. But along the way, they got off course and didn't believe, and somebody just pulled them down and didn't trust in them, or put that great feedback and nothing but positive, advice to give them and guide them through it, to get over that hump and to continue that success to the top. So they never made it. There's thousands of athletes across the globe at different levels in their lives. It's just that they didn't believe, they took the wrong message, and then they pretty much got depressed and they quit. They quit. You're not a quitter. You're a special athlete. You will make it. Just keep grinding and believing. All right? But do not give up on your talent. Do not give up on your talent. All right? Stay healthy, stay safe, and trust, believe in your talent, as always, coming straight at you, 100% true. Always remember that. All right? Like, subscribe, and share. If we could touch someone or anyone from this video, will be a blessing. All right? There's always out there people are looking for help, looking for advice, looking for someone for guidance. You know what I mean? So I hope someone just reaches out, shares this, and somebody, you know, touches someone one way or another, and they'll use it to their benefit. All right? Take care, be safe, till next time.